Hello everyone and welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host Alex, and today we're diving into some fascinating work on image generation. We'll be looking at a paper called InfiniteYou Flexible Photo Recrafting while preserving your identity. So, the main challenge here is getting AI to flexibly change a photo, maybe put you in a different scene or style, but still make sure it actually looks like you. This paper introduces a framework called InfiniteYou, or InfU, which uses Diffusion Transformers to tackle this. It specifically aims to improve identity similarity and text alignment compared to older methods, using a special component called InfuseNet. Okay, so let's look at Figure 1 to see what this InfiniteYou framework actually produces. This figure shows several examples generated by InfU. You see these large generated images, like a woman in an office, an old man with a beard, or even a chef. And for each one, there's a small inset photo that's the original person's face used for identity. The key thing here is how the generated faces really look like the input faces, but they're placed into completely new contexts based on the text prompts below. This really highlights the framework's ability to preserve identity, while also achieving good text alignment and high image quality. Building on those examples from Figure 1, Figure 2 here gives us some direct comparisons to understand why the InfiniteYou approach might be better. On the left, we see a comparison between a UNet-based model like SDXL and a DIT-based one like Flux for the same prompt young woman in park. You can see the DIT result potentially looks a bit better, maybe more natural. Then, on the right, it shows the difference when using an IP adapter versus not using one, like InfU does. Look how the with IP adapter image has those strange horns added, while the without IP adapter one looks much cleaner and closer to the prompt blonde woman in office while still keeping the identity. This highlights the potential side effects of IP adapters that InfU tries to avoid. Okay, so we saw what InfiniteYou can do and how it compares. Now, Figure 3 here gives us a look under the hood at the actual architecture. We see the identity image on the top left gets processed by a frozen face encoder, then a trainable projection network. This identity information, along with an optional control image, feeds into this special red block called InfuseNet. InfuseNet then calculates these residual signals, which are added into the main frozen Diffusion Transformer, or DiT, blocks below it. This is how it injects the identity without directly modifying the main model, like those IP adapters we mentioned. Only InfuseNet and that projection network are trained. So that architecture in Figure 3, with InfuseNet injecting the identity, needs to be trained effectively. Figure 4 here shows their multi-stage training strategy. First, they do a pre-training stage using a large set of real single-person photos. They call this SPSS data. This helps the model learn the basics, like reconstructing the input identity. Then, in Stage 2, they actually generate synthetic data using the first stage model, but they enhance these images using various modules to improve quality and aesthetics. This synthetic data, which shows the same person in multiple good-looking scenarios, or SPMS data, is used for supervised fine-tuning. This second stage really helps boost the text alignment and overall image quality while still keeping that identity linkage strong. Alright, so after seeing that multi-stage training process, Figure 5 here gives us a direct look at the results compared to other methods. We see the input ID images along the top, and then rows showing outputs from Flux IP adapter, Pulid Flux, and finally our InfU method on the bottom. Just visually comparing, the InfU results seem to do a really good job of keeping the person's identity, while also fitting the text prompt underneath each ID image, like old man with glasses or teen boy with glasses. The other methods sometimes struggle a bit more with either the identity match or the prompt details. Building on those comparisons, Figure 6 really highlights the flexibility of InfU. It shows how this framework isn't just a standalone thing, but it can actually plug and play nicely with other popular methods and plugins. We see examples here where InfU works with different control nets for things like depth or pose guidance. It works with style LoRa's and even complex controls like Omni control to add specific objects or styles alongside the identity. This compatibility makes it a pretty versatile tool for different creative tasks. So yeah, that flexibility really shows the power of the InfU framework. It's not just about getting the face right, but doing so while allowing all sorts of creative control and integration with other tools. Overall, this work on InfiniteYou is a neat step forward for personalized image generation, giving users much better ways to place specific identities into new contexts reliably. It really enhances the possibilities for creative applications. Well, that's all for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Alex.